So most of you have heard of these new hip hop singers like Yo Gotti or some other new rappers. I don't really listen to new music, so but since I'm a kid from the '90s, I stick to Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, NWA, and Eminem. But one of my almost top #1 favorite rapper was Tupac. Okay, Tupac is almost everybody's favorite rapper in the world. So I'm gonna be telling you 3 things about Tupac. The first thing is gonna be his early life. His second one's gonna be his music and movie career, and his third one is gonna be about his death. Okay. So Tupac was born on June 16, 1971. His parents were Afrini Shakur and Billy Gardens, who were both part of the Black Panthers. His name was Lassane Parrish Crook, but later changed to Tupac Amaru Shakur. So Amaru means sacred serpent, and Shakur in Arabic means thankful to God. At the age of 13, he attended school at Baltimore School of Arts, and he was studying there ballet and becoming an actor. So at the age of 13, he was offered a record contract, but his mom denied it. She refused because he was too young to be out in the world, and she wanted him to have his education. So at the age of 17, he ended up dropping out and moving out from his parents' house, which is a pretty young age. He got married to Miss Morris. He was married for a year, and he got married with her while he was in jail. He told her on the first date that he was gonna die by murder at the age of 25, and she thought it was really crazy. I would be scared if somebody told me that. And this is his music. These albums came out before he passed, and that's after he passed away. And he sold 38 million albums in the U.S. He was on the Guinness World Records in 2004 for the highest selling, for selling 67 million all around the world. He was the most successful rapper, MC. His song All Eyes on Me, I don't know if you guys heard of it, or Life Goes On, was a song being dedicated to his own death, which is pretty crazy because I don't know how he would know that he was gonna die. So Dear Mama was on the top charts for 33 weeks in a row. So that's his best song. He came out in these 6 movies. The top #1 was Juice, and then Poetic Justice, Above the Rim, and Gang Related. He also spoke for Bubba and Forrest Gump. I never knew that, so it's something new. And then he died on September 13, 1996, on Friday the 13th in Las Vegas when he was with Suge Knight. They were leaving the MGM Grand, and he was shot in the head and he died from internal bleeding. He wrote a song. He didn't get to finish it though because he ended up passing away, so Eminem finished it for him. And after his death, 10 of his albums went platinum, and he died with only $100,000 in the bank, which I would think he would have had more since he was a rapper. And I'm going to show you a very quick video. death, he still remains famous because he showed up at Coachella, which is pretty crazy with the hologram. So he's still gonna be the most famous rapper of all time, even though years pass, because they still make him come alive, and listening to his music make his spirit be alive. Thank you. Oh, yes.
All right, well, here's a good example of needing to practice your introduction. You got stuck on your introduction right at the beginning, and so you're off on the wrong foot, and that makes it a little bit tough. The subject of your speech is very clear. I think... I can wait. So when you guys are done, let me know. All right, the subject of your speech is pretty clear, but what it is you're going to say about him is not. And I think that you need to have a point of view. It just seems like we're going to drop it. My topic is Tupac, and I'm going to go into these three things that we're talking about. And so like I said, when we talked about thesis statements before, you need to have a point of view. What is it you're going to say about him? What is it that you're going to bring to us? I just know the topic area. I don't know what your point of view is, and I think that that's problematic. You did have a good preview of the structure of the speech, so I think that helps you give a little bit more sense to where you are going, but that shouldn't be the way you create the meaning. I think it needs to be a little bit earlier with that, like I said, the thesis or the specific purpose statement. Content is okay. You've got some information. I think you've done some research. You've got some examples to talk about. You've got some statistical information to share. You've got some events to talk about. I think you need to practice it a little bit so that they fit into your material a little more smoothly. But there is content here. The presentation, that's very awkward. I mentioned a couple of other people doing the same thing. You're standing sideways frequently while you're presenting. You sometimes deliver your presentation to the screen instead of to the audience. You break contact with the audience on a regular basis. You're locked in a little bit with the notes that you have, especially I thought that was odd at the beginning of the speech. Your voice projects well, but I think you need to have a little bit more personality in your presentation. You're talking about what you think is everybody's favorite rapper. I assume that you feel that way too. And to be honest, you sound I don't want to say bored, but you sound a little bit tired talking about the subject. Like I'm just going through this, and this ought to be something that you care about. You like the music. You think he's the best. You're talking about his movies, and he was in this, and he was in this, and he was in this, and he was in this. I'm like, well, why is that important? What's interesting about it? Was he dynamic about it? I didn't even know he did the speaking for Bubba. Okay, well, why? Make it interesting. I can't believe that he was doing the voice for Bubba. I've seen Forrest Gump for 20 years, and blah 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 blah. And here it is. It turns out that it's Tupac all the time. You know, hiding behind the image, which is what he did all the time, which is why people still think he's not dead. He's just hiding someplace. Look at all these albums that came out after he was dead. Holy criminy, a lot of material there. Can you believe he only had $100,000? Most rappers carry that in their back pocket, and that's all he had to his name when he died? That seems a little bit strange. I mean, something that sounds like you care and are engaged and this matters and you want... And you know, I don't think you have to put on a clown show, but I think you need to... Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we talked about it. There's inconsistency with the message that you're sending here. That you've got this idea that this is something that's worth talking about. It's interesting, but you're just getting through it. And I don't think that that's the impression that you want to leave people. All right. Thank you.